What's up, guys? So just bear with me a bit, please, because I'm getting downloads on like what I'm supposed to be talking about today, and it's coming in like real time. So I don't have I don't have like a idea on how this is gonna go. But essentially, I'm supposed to be talking about like viewing reality like at face value versus viewing it like through symbols, right? So for a moment, entertain the idea, if you're not familiar with my work, that reality is being projected from you, right? So this energy is being projected from you. It's creating your external environment. It's the people, the nature, everything is being created from within, right? Now the people that you interact with, those are beings, those are real beings, but it is your projection of another being, right? So with that said, as kind of like a foundation, essentially, because this is a projection, because this is energy, right, that we're seeing, but we're experiencing it as physical reality, a way to read what's going on can be read through a variety of different ways when it comes to things that are popping up in your experience, right? So like numbers, right? That's the most like obvious one because it's such a big part of everybody's lives. You're getting certain synchronicity numbers, right? Whether if it's 777, 333, 1111, 1117, whatever the numbers are, right? That is one way to kind of read energy, right? Read synchronicity. There's also animals, right? There's nature. There could be certain plants and herbs that might be growing in your yard that you are like, why is this here? Everything is happening synchronistically. Everything is happening as an energy first, right? So that means that there's no coincidences. There's no random, like, this is just kind of happening right now. It is all energy telling you something about what's going on energetically, right, in this field that is being projected from you. So what does that mean? It means that you can kind of tell what's going on with you and your energy, right, by reading what is being projected, right? Now, you might think that you know fully what's going on with your own energy by just existing, right? And that's great. You can just use this as a clue or in addition to that, right? I can't tell you what to do, but it's been very helpful for me in terms of self-reflection. Like, if I'm seeing particular numbers or if I'm seeing particular animals or whatever, I don't just look at the number or look at the animal or look at the plant or look at, the confrontation that I'm seeing in my face, right? If I'm seeing someone about to have an argument or a fight or whatever, like all of this stuff is energy. And when you become present, right? And present just means that you're paying attention to it. You're not, and not pay attention in a bad way, but you're like, okay, I see this, and you can move on. You don't necessarily have to be hooked on to something that you don't prefer, but you see something, it it's like a little notification, right, in your experience. Like, that's interesting that thing happened. That's unusual. That's not something that typically happens in my experience. In my case, like 555, right? 555 is a new number, a new synchronicity number that I am experiencing right now, right? This is highly unusual for me. Synchronicity is not unusual for me. Numbers are not unusual for me, but 555 specifically, I've never had that number in my life until now, right? So it's telling me something about what's going on with my energy, right? It's a way to pick up on what's going on with you. Yeah, it's a way to pick up what's going on with you using clues, using stuff that's in your environment, right? Because this stuff can't be here, this projection can't be here without being a mirror to you, right? I made this analogy in another video, and it's not my analogy. I got this from somewhere else. I can't remember exactly, but basically when you're in the mirror, you don't look at the mirror and go, I need you to smile. Like, you smile first, and then the mirror reflects that back to you. This is what reality is. It's a mirror. So if you want something to change, then you first have to change internally. But if something is here already in the external environment, that means that there's an energetic connection. It's a reflection of you. So then you can ask yourself, okay, well, what does this mean, right? Any and everything in this place, space, it doesn't matter what species of plant or herb is around you, animals around you, even conflicts, right? Conflicts or anything that is are just unusual, right? When it comes to like people interacting with each other, right? Even the news, right? I'm not saying to pay attention to the news, but world conflicts can tell you stuff about your energy, right? If you know how to read it. Don't be afraid to get an outside perspective from another person on like how you could read, like what would a person falling in front of you mean? What does that mean, right? And a lot of people just are like, oh, let me help you, and then they move about their day. They don't think anything of it. But like somebody stumbling and falling in front of you, especially if it happens more than once or something, you might be like, well, what's going on there? You know what I mean? If you're paying attention to the energy. So I know this is kind of I don't want to say messy, but it's a bit, like on the fly with what I'm talking about. But I felt like it was something that somebody, needed to hear. But just like pay attention to what's going on, around you. Like, you guys know, many of you know that I work very closely with dragons, and I get a ton of dragon synchronicity, and they send energy my way all the time on kind of things that are going on. So it's unique for me, right? And it takes a bit to kind of understand how you specifically can utilize this environment to read, right? Whether if it's yourself or something going on around or whatever. So I hope that that's helpful. You guys have a great day, and I will see you later.